Job interviews can be tricky, and even the most qualified candidates sometimes make simple mistakes that can cost them the opportunity. Whether it is not doing enough research on the company or discussing about the salary too soon, these are missteps you don't want to make. Hi there, I'm Shalini Yadav, your interview coach, and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about top 10 common interview mistakes and, more importantly, how you can avoid them to increase your chances of selection. As I have already said that it's not enough to research about the company before the interview or talk on your salary expectation too early during the interview session. From inadequate preparations and poor body language, failing to ask insightful questions. These errors can convey disinterest or lack of professionalism to potential employers. Recognizing and avoiding these missteps can significantly enhance a candidate's performance and improve their chances of making a positive impression at interview. By learning about these mistakes, candidates can approach interview with greater confidence and clarity, ultimately positioning themselves as a strong contenders for the role they seek. So let's dive into these common 10 mistakes and how to navigate them effectively. So here we go. The first and the common mistake candidates generally do: not doing your homework is not related to your homework or housework. It's deal with that you don't research about the company before going for an interview. It's a common mistake. To stand out, you need to know as much as possible about the organization. For example, if you are going for the data scientist in a Google company, start by checking their websites, recent press release, and major announcements. Check hierarchy and head of the department or your senior person who is going to take your interview. You can also take help from the LinkedIn. Also research only to get an idea for the salary range, but you don't have to talk about that until they ask for your expectations. If your company is private, look at their financial statement or annual reports for an overview of their growth or a new product. You don't have to memorize everything, but being familiar with key details shows you are serious about the job and the company's future. The second common mistake candidates generally do: a common mistake is thinking you are on an equal ground with an interviewer. While some say you are evaluating the company too, the reality is that the employer holds the power unless you are being headhunted. Your main focus should be prove you are the best fit for the role. Once you get a job offer, often you can discuss things like salary and other benefits. But until that point, you are not on equal footing. So focus on showing your values. The third mistake candidates generally do is understanding your skills. A common mistake is not taking confidently about your skills and achievements. Many people struggle to highlight their own success. In an interview, you need to sell yourself. You are the product. Don't hesitate to use I when discussing about your role in past projects. While teamwork is important, focus on what you specifically did. Practice talking about your accomplishment with a friend or family so you can feel confidently during the interview. The more comfortable you are sharing your success, the better you will perform. The fourth common mistake generally candidates do: overestimating your skills can lead to poor interview preparations. One of my friends, Sam, a client at Bear Group, learned this the hard way. He thought he didn't need help preparing, so he skipped his coaching sessions and 3 job opportunities slipped through his fingers. After reconnecting with his coach, he improved his interview style by listening more, answering concisely and avoiding talking over people. Soon, he landed 2 job offers in the same week. So the key lesson for this mistake is don't assume you know it all. Being overconfident or trying to be the over smart person in the room can turn off hiring managers. Humility or preparations go a long way. So don't be over smart, just give your answer in a very simple and concise way. Now the fifth common mistake generally candidates do. One common mistake candidates do in interview is talking too much instead of being concise. When sharing your expectations and achievements, aim for clarity and relevance. Try to explain your thoughts in answer in 30 seconds. If you go on for too long, the interviewer may tune out or think you are overqualified. Some roles often have a wealth of skills, but it's important to focus on what's relevant to the job you are applying for. By doing this, you show that you are interested in the role and can keep the interviewer's attention. So we remember sometimes less is often more. Now come to the sixth point. One common mistake often candidates do is not realizing when a casual chat turns into an interview. Sometimes the best job offers came when you least expect them, like during a conversation with an old friend or colleague. While catching up, they might discover that you have the skills they need for a project or problem they are facing, and suddenly they are interested in recruiting you. To make the most of these opportunities, you need to recognize when the conversation shifts to an interview. For example, Michael found a fantastic role at an AdWords startup just by reconnecting with a former colleague. During their chat, he realized he would be a great fit for this team. These organic opportunities may not follow the strategic path, but they can lead to some of the most rewarding job experiences because the role is often tailored to your strengths. So always be ready to showcase your skills even in casual conversations. Now, seventh common mistake is one big mistake people make in interview is ending the conversation without knowing where they stand. It's essential to find out how the interviewer feels about your fit for the role. You can do this with one simple question. Do you think I am a good fit for this position? If they have any doubt, this is your chance to address those concerns and clarify why you are a strong candidate. If they believe you are a good fit, you can ask them about the next step in the hiring process. Knowing their timeline for follow-up will help you stay on their radar and follow up appropriately. Ending on this note not only shows your interest but also gives you valuable information about your chances. Now, 8th point, the common mistake candidates generally do. Taking rejections too hard. One common mistake people make is taking job rejection too hard. It's completely natural to feel upset after a long interview process, but try to see rejections as opportunities to learn and grow. Changing your mindset can make a big difference. When you understand why you didn't get the job, you can improve your performance in future interviews. Plus, always respond gracefully to rejection. Leaving a good impression can lead to unexpected opportunities down the road, like a different job opening or referral to another company. So remember, it's important not to burn bridges. You never know when those connections might come back to benefit you. Now, the 9th common mistake generally candidates do. Not tailoring your comment to the interview. One common mistake people make an interview is not tailoring their comments to the interviewers. It's essentially to know your audience. If you are talking to the technical person, dive into the detail specific of the role. But if you are meeting with the CEO, focus on qualities like hard work and your ability to handle pressure. If your job usually involves working with lawyers or accountants, share example of how you have successfully supported them in the past. Highlight the great relationship you have built along with the way. By showing how your skills can benefit each person's role in the organization, you will make a stronger impression and demonstrate your understanding of the company's needs. Now, the 10th common mistake generally candidates do: discussing money before you have an offer letter. Talking about the salary before you get the offer letter is a common mistake in interview candidates perform. If the interview brings it up, try to change the subject. And remember, don't ask about pay yourself. In some places, it is illegal for recruiters to ask about the past salaries, but they might still want to know what you expect to learn. If you are pressed for a number, you can say something like that: I'm looking for a salary that fits the role and reflect my experience. Relieving your salary expectation too early can put you at a disadvantage when it comes time to negotiate. Keep your information to yourself until you have a job offer in hand. So don't hesitate to acknowledge if you are new to interviewing. By avoiding these basic mistakes, you can significantly improve the chances of landing your job. And that's wrap up our discussion on the 10 common mistakes candidates make in job interview. Remember, preparation and self-awareness are key to nailing that interview and making a great impression. If you found this video tips helpful, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more interview advice and career tips. Also, feel free to share your thoughts on any personal interview experience in the comment below. Thanks for watching and good luck with your next interview.